Imagine a year where it's the Punisher meets Ghost Rider, but his face looks like Deadpool and his suit is the same as Venom.
Oh my god, that sounds like the best movie ever. What year is this, Sandro?
It's 1997 and it's epic.
Epic! Oh my god. Oh, jeez. Oh, this is definitely the worst place I've ever been portaled to. Oh my god, everything's on fire. There's like motes of lava. There's like a demon like poking a dude. Oh my goodness. Sandro sent me to hell. Oh my god.
Hello.
Oh my god, a demon. Who are you?
I am Bozo.
Oh no, I already hate you immensely just by that name.
Oh, yeah.
Why do you look like the cross between a demon and a clown?
It's unclear.
Ah, nice.
It's unclear why.
Yep, that's fair.
I was drawn this way.
What is with your teeth? I hate that immensely. That's very disconcerting.
I got 20 teeth for every one teeth that human have.
Wow.
Yeah.
Your dental bill must be enormous.
Maybe. I'll call up my dentist real quick.
Hello,
Hello, dentist?
Hello, can I help you?
This person wanted to ask you a question.
Yes, what is it? I'm very busy.
Yeah, what's the dental bills like for demonic clowns? I'm just curious.
Is this about Pennywise again? I swear.
Yeah. Oh my god, Pennywise. Don't get me started. Oh, that's gonna give me nightmares.
You would not believe the kind of work that went into his root canal, let me tell you.
Yeah, oh my god. How long does something like that take? Do you need, like, a pickaxe? Like, what's happening there?
It's basically like an eternity in hell, if you can imagine that.
You know what? Right now, I could.
Well, it's good. Surely a good thing that I'm not Pennywise then, because it was me the entire time.
Oh my god, Sandra, it was you!
And you're in hell.
Then who... Wait, yeah, I noticed that bit. Me being on fire was, part of that sort of thing where I recognized where I was.
Yes.
Wait. Then, if you're not a demonic clown, who's the dentist over there?
Why, the dentist is our special guest, Robert, who's back to talk about this movie with us.
That's right.
Whoa!
I'm the vibrator, girly man.
Oh, no. Hello and welcome to Oldie But a Goodie. Today we're reviewing Spawn.
Oh, hell no.
Oh, no.
Oh, dear.
I have heard so much about this movie, and I'm very glad that we finally got to review it, Zach. And I'm very glad that we got to convince... Robert here.
I would say inflict.
Inflict. Yes. Please welcome from Crooked Table Productions, it's Robert Yanis Jr. Hello, welcome back to the show.
You sent me to hell, I'm here to return the favor, guys.
Yeah.
That's all I have to say.
Now, this movie, us reviewing this movie, turns out works really well with what you're currently doing over on Franchise Detours.
Yeah. So we just finished the Nightmare on Elm Street mega series on Franchise Detours, which famously has a character with a burnt up face, and the boy in this movie is actually in New Nightmare.
Whoa!
Which is weird. Miko Hughes, who's in this movie as Zach, not to be confused with you, Zach.
Yeah. Great character. My favorite character now.
He is in New Nightmare as well. So there was a lot of overlap happening, and now we're covering the Deadpool movies now. So now it's like nothing but burnt faces on my my microphone.
True.
Yeah.
Yep.
You got testicle avocado faces all around.
Exactly.
Everywhere.
Exactly.
Wow, wonderful. And had you seen this movie before?
So I saw this I don't think I saw it in theaters. I think I saw the PG-13 version on VHS, and then maybe like a year or two later, when the director's cut came out, I saw that. I didn't care for it very much either time. But the thing that's frustrating about this movie is that on paper, like the premise of this could be cool.
Oh yeah,
the movie not so much, which we'll get into.
No.
Yeah. Okay. And were you that familiar with the character of Spawn before watching the movie initially?
No, I wasn't.
Okay.
Not at all. And I know the animated series I know premiered around the same time, and I think I've seen an episode or two of that over the years, but not enough to like, form a concrete opinion on the character or anything.
Okay. How about you, Zach? Were you familiar with Spawn? And
I have seen this movie before.
wait, really?
Yeah. Somewhat recently, I would say. The problem being that, of course, I had to suppress everything the clown says. So it's really hard for me to focus my memory to remember when I watched this movie before.
Yeah.
But I have seen this movie before. I just don't know when. And so watching it again was weird because it was like, I don't remember half of this, but I do remember some of this. And I can remember why I suppressed a lot of it.
Yeah.
And I've read a Spawn comic before.
Okay.
He's a cool guy. He never really appealed to me specifically, but I'm like, he's a cool sporty boy. I'm more of a Nicolas Cage skull on fire hell servant rather than a Spawn hell servant. You know what I'm saying?
Definitely. I definitely know what you're saying. Yeah.
Word.
I agree. I've never read a Spawn comic, but the character doesn't really appeal to me that much at all. Like most 90s superheroes, that's the point where we got like metal Electro Superman and shit with like weird comic book stuff like that. The 90s and Venom was everywhere. I don't care about any of that comics stuff. The Clone Saga, get out of here. So when it comes to Spawn, I've always just wanted to watch the movie because it looked terrible. That's really the only interest I have in Spawn. Is the fact
I've got good news for you, Sandro, because looks don't deceive.
This movie was awful, and I loved it. It's so bad. It's doing way too much at any one point. Like, there's like 3 storylines going on here, probably enough for a whole season of TV. The visual effects we'll get into, and the clown, what's going on? I don't know. Zach, what did you think of this one, rewatching it? Did you enjoy it more than you did last time?
I absolutely enjoyed this a lot more knowing that it was inflicted on 2 other individuals. But besides the suffering of others, I had fun with it. It was somewhat nostalgic in a way. I don't know. I like a lot of this, and I hate a lot of it as well. Like it like flip flops back and forth.
Yeah.
But I had a good time. I was laughing at it a lot. It was very stupid, and I was having a great time. So, I don't know. I was having a great time watching this.
I'm trying to wrap my head around your whole repressing what the clown bits, but then like what part of it did you remember? Because to me, that's the most memorable part of the movie, for better or worse.
For some reason, I remembered the narration very vividly, and so when it came on, I'm like, oh, it's from this movie.
What's this doing here?
Yeah, no, exactly right. And like Spawn, that like crotch maneuver he does with the lady.
Oh yeah.
Which sounds weird if you take that sentence out of context. But like, and the fight with the demons at the end.
Yeah.
I remember that, and all the CGI I vividly remembered.
I don't know why you would remember that.
Because it was very funny to me. But yeah, no, the clown, oh god. I think the clown might be the reason for a long time I just hated fart jokes.
Oh, that explains it.
Yeah, like, I think he's one of the reasons why, like, it's his exact type of character that made me despise fart jokes. even in Lion King, it's like Pumbaa, I'm like, I don't know. This is, for some reason, I'm viscerally hating this, and I don't know why, because I can't remember the character that caused me to hate this, but I hate this.
Well, the character that caused you to hate it was Clown, also known as Violator, who was played by John Leguizamo, who we have seen recently on the podcast, Zach, as Luigi.
Whoa!
In Super Mario Bros.
No, shut up. That was the same character?
It's the same guy. I don't know how they filmed him. I know that he's probably in a fat suit, but he looks...
Yeah.
He's too short, too. I don't know how they got the like, him being so short. I'm not sure how they did that.
I think he's like hunched over in the fat suit.
Yeah.
The whole time.
Yeah, maybe.
John Leguizamo?
Yeah.
Was the clown?
Yeah.
I would have never guessed that in 1,000 years. That's crazy.
That's one thing that you can say about him. You know, it's the same as him in Ice Age. He always disappears into his roles.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
You can never notice him.
Look, I gotta give props to the actor, because I would, never have in 1,000 years. That's crazy.
Robert, how was the experience of rewatching this for you?
Well, first of all, I remember this coming out on DVD, and even the copies that you can find now, it is boldly labeled the special effects movie event of the year.
Yes.
Which I'm like, I don't know.
Yes.
So let's take it down a notch, New Line. It was interesting to watch it now, because like I said, I haven't seen it in probably a couple decades, because you can, even with all the terrible stuff happening, like you can see like the like flicker of what this could have been with a good script.
Yes.
Because the actors, like the cast is not terrible. Like Michael Jai White is, has charisma. He could be good on screen if he had a character that was more fleshed out. John Leguizamo, like we were just saying, like he delivered what this character was on the page, and had brought a lot of energy to it, and he's having a blast, even if the movie around him is a giant mess. So it's like, it was trying to look for the potential of what went wrong here, and how, because this property is not dead. In fact, they're working on a new version of Spawn for the big screen with Jamie Foxx, I think, still attached. So
that's right. Yeah, we should mention that. Just the day before we were meant to record this episode, I don't want to date when we're recording the podcast,
right,
but a month ago, they announced that they're making King Spawn. There's a script, it's ready to go, and yeah, we'll see what happens.
Ooh,
but
very cool.
Also, that movie's been in the works for like 20 years at this point, though, so who knows what's going to happen there.
Well, this wasn't like not successful. This did all right at the box office. So it's like for a while, I think there was talk of possibly doing some kind of a sequel. I mean, the Mortal Kombat movie from '95 got a god-awful sequel this very same year in Annihilation. So, it's kind of surprising we didn't see an even worse sequel to this.
That's true. Yeah, man. Actually, yeah, that Mortal Kombat sequel and this have so much in common. I think we reviewed that.
Yeah, they're both great movies.
We reviewed that on Patreon like 4 years ago, I think, Zach. And I, from memory, the special effects of that are the same as the ones in this. Maybe even
pretty
worse.
Much.
I don't know.
I would say worse, yeah.
Yeah, they are slightly worse in Mortal Kombat, but only slightly.
Yeah, like in terms of the crew and everyone around this movie, Spawn, if you don't know, is created by Todd McFarlane, who was probably best known. He worked on Spider-Man for a bit before them breaking out and being like, I'm going to make my own universe and everyone's going to be gross and it's going to be horror, but also superheroes and epic. And he made a whole thing around that. And yeah, like he was trying to get this movie made for ages, and he ended up selling the rights to New Line Cinema, best known for the Elm Street movies. Yep. He sold the rights to them for $1.
Wow.
So that he could control the creative aspects of the movies, I guess. He was like, you can have the rights, but I'm going to be in control.
How did that work out for him, I wonder?
Yeah, because I'm like, is this what he wanted?
Yeah.
I can't imagine.
I'm going to make a bold claim and think, like, if this was more like a trauma movie, you know what I mean? Like your Toxic Avenger sort of thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I think that's more of the vibe I got from like a Spawn comment, right? Because you say horror, but like nothing in this is really horror, except I don't know, maybe the clowns eating maggots or something, you know, like I don't know if it was more Troma-y, like it knew it was bad and so it just kind of rolled with it, you know. It might have been better. I don't know.
All right, so it needs to be directed by the guy who did Tammy and the T-Rex. Gotcha.
Yeah, now we're talking.
Yeah, I think I agree. Like, this movie's trying very hard to be a real movie, and it's not. It's absolutely.
It's taking itself way too seriously.
It either has to be a lot better or just a lot worse.
Yes.
Yeah, I guess.
Exactly, yeah.
One or the other.
Yeah. It is interesting, though, how, yeah, like, Todd McFarlane claims that he had creative control over this movie, yet we had to review the director's cut to see any gore, and even then, there's not much. Or we should say that we have all watched the director's cut, which is only like 2 minutes longer, but it adds in a lot more extra violence and stuff like that. I think extra swearing stuff. I don't even. Yeah.
Yeah, that was for me watching this. I was like, is this meant to be like a PG film? But then there's a lot of violence over here. Like, yeah. I'm not sure what this. Like, I literally thought, who is this for? Right? Who is this movie for? And I'm like, they're making it kind of like a kids like film. Like, this appeals to kids, but it's very violent.
Yeah.
So it's obviously not. So who is this for? And that makes sense if there was like a PG cut and all that sort of thing.
Yeah. How does because Robert, I think you're the only one out of us who has seen that PG cut. How does that compare to this version that we saw?
I don't really even notice that much of a difference, to be honest with you. I think there's a little bit more, you know, to the action scenes. There's like a couple lines that are slightly altered because they were deemed, I guess, too dirty for a PG-13 or whatever. But like, I think that was one of the complaints too of fans who were like, this property is very, you know, horror inspired, as you mentioned, very R-rated, and taking that and neutering it down to a PG-13. I think a lot of fans were like, well, where's the good stuff? And they were like, here's a director's cut. And people were disappointed in that it feels exactly the same. And to your point of like, who is this for? Again, to go back to Mortal Kombat, have you played a Mortal Kombat game? Not PG-13. And yet they were like, let's sand off all the edges and make this appropriate for the whole family. So I think this kind of got caught in that trend, and it would be another year or so until Blade came out and was like, no, you could do a superhero movie that's R-rated and like, you know, starts with showers of blood and kind of take that approach.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing, right? You need to start your movie going into it being like, we're appealing to young adults / teen, like, you know, we're going to make this violent. This is not for kids. Whereas I feel like they were still in the mindset of like, okay, it's a superhero film, so we need to kind of appeal to a younger audience.
Yeah.
But it's also, we also have murder and sex jokes. Like, what? No, you can't. No, you can't. No.
I feel like if I saw this as a 9-year-old, though, I probably would have loved it. I probably would have been like, hell yeah.
That's true.
But that stuff still goes on, not so much now, but definitely like a decade ago, specifically with the Ghost Rider movies. Like, they're still making movies like this for audiences that don't want to see it. Like, just go all out. The movie has a screenplay by a guy called Alan...
This is shocking.
Yeah, I know, surprising, right? Someone wrote this.
Whoa.
It's got a screenplay by because I just want to pinpoint where this went wrong, and maybe talking about the writer and director will help. Because yeah, the writer is Alan B. McElroy, who's best known for writing Halloween 4: The Return of Michael Myers. He also wrote the Tekken movie. And it seems like he created the Wrong Turn franchise, which is a horror franchise I've never seen. No idea what that is. And he also wrote a very large majority of Star Trek Discovery, which explains the quality of Star Trek Discovery.
Whoa, savage.
Yeah, he wrote it, which is very interesting, because, again, someone wrote it. It feels like the sort of movie where, like, it would be 6 credited writers, not just one.
Right.
Like, the movie feels so messy that it should be multiple writers.
Well, you say it's one guy, but remember, there's one guy in the background also making sure that it fits his creative design, and there might be a clash there, you know?
That's true.
It is directed by a guy called Mark A.Z. Dipp, who did a lot of like special effects. I think he was involved in the T-1000 in not Jurassic Park. He was involved in Jurassic Park as well, but he is probably best known for directing the straight-to-DVD classics Garfield Gets Real, Garfield's Fun Fest, and Garfield's Pet Force.
Whoa!
Yeah.
Some of my all-time favorites.
He also directed the 2022 Marmaduke Netflix movie.
Yep. Damn. Crazy.
So,
How could this individual be part of a bad film?
I was gonna say, I think we have our culprits between the two of them.
well, I mean, like, he used to work for ILM. Like, he helped do the CGI on, like, The Abyss and stuff. So I guess, yeah, he was, like, a visual effects guy and then was like, sure, I'll direct Spawn because it's the first thing that he ever made. So maybe that's where it all comes back to, is the fact that it's directed by someone who was pretty much just an animator.
And then after this, like you said, was all straight like Disney Channel original movies and like straight to video. The Reef 2 High Tide, which is like that Redbox, almost like a Redbox exclusive Finding Nemo ripoff franchise, The Reef. Yeah.
There's some culprits here. We can piece together the evidence and find out that this was not a great film.
And yeah, like the people who did the special effects and stuff, they worked on Jurassic Park like a few years before this. So so they also knew what they were doing. Yeah. Maybe the movie just was too ahead of its time.
Well,
and they couldn't make it.
Yeah, well, here's the thing. I don't remember so much CGI in Jurassic Park, you know?
Yeah.
I'm not saying there's a reason it looked worse than Jurassic Park, but it might be the CGI.
We should get into some spoilers. We'll rate this and then move on to spoilers. Zach, is this an oldie or a goodie? What do you think?
I'm very tempted to give this a goodie.
Oh, okay.
I'm very tempted, but I feel like in good conscience I can't because of how viscerally I hated everything the clown said. Like just constantly. It's just, look, I enjoyed watching this film, but would I suggest it to anyone? Because that's always the category, right, that I go back to, is like, this would be a good film if I could suggest it to someone. And I don't know if I would suggest this to anyone. Like, I don't know if there's anybody, like, I would suggest it to you and you've already seen it. Right?
Like, even if someone, like, wanted a so bad it's good movie, you don't think that this is one that you'd suggest?
I would make them watch Tabby and the T-Rex.
Yeah, that's
fair. Yeah, like, so I think that the problem with Spawn is it loses out to other films that are more terrible for better reasons, right?
Yes.
So even in the bad category, it's losing. So I'm gonna have to give it an oldie.
All right.
Yeah, I feel bad for it though because I had a lot of fun watching this.
Definitely, yeah. Well, then what about you, Robert? Is this an oldie or is this a goodie?
Yeah. This is an oldie.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm not even going to beat around the bush.
You don't have any inner conflict about it? You don't want to be like, I enjoyed parts of this film, you know?
Well, I think part of the reason why I've watched it, like, I think this is probably, like I said, I think maybe my third time watching this, is because I gave it a second shot with the director's cut long time ago. Because, on paper, like, the idea of this character that comes back from hell and with the big cape and like the look of the character is cool. It just needed to be rendered, with better effects. And Michael Jai White is a good choice for this character.
Yeah.
Leguizamo is having a ball, like I said. Like, so I always want to be like, maybe I'm missing something. Maybe it'll finally click into place, and it never does. Like, it never gets there. I do think the performances are kind of fun, especially Leguizamo, as regrettable as everything he has to say and do are in this movie. I would, like, if you were a hardcore fan of any of these actors, particularly the two leads, then maybe check it out just because it's an interesting footnote in their careers. But other than that, like, yeah, I don't think it's bad enough to have fun with, and it's definitely not good enough in any categories. Particularly now, especially now looking back. I did the X-Men movies last year on Franchise Detours.
Oh, yeah.
And it was a real fun, like going from 2000 to 2020 with the New Mutants and seeing the genre like ebb and flow and like how it reflected the trends of the day and stuff. In today's day and age where there's a bazillion comic book movies, including R-rated ones, Deadpool and Wolverine, for example, that are true to the characters, that they're, that they're ripped from the comics and kind of put on the screen, I mean, without being diluted and all of that. This would be towards the bottom of any list, I think, of that, unfortunately.
Yeah.
The first X-Men movies are some of my favorite of all time movies. So, yeah, I can totally agree with that.
Even like fucking Venom, or maybe even Madam Web is more fun than
Whoa, that's a bold claim, sir.
because like I'm gonna give this an oldie as well. I think like I almost did enjoy it on a so bad it's good level, but
Oh, shit.
the plot is
Madam Web doesn't have fart jokes. Oh, shit. Maybe you're
true.
right. Oh,
exactly.
fuck.
No fart
Oh,
jokes in
fuck.
Madam Web.
Oh my god, Madam Web might be better than this? Fuck. That is rough.
But like this movie, yeah, it's not quite so bad it's good because it's also like it's just frustrating.
Yeah.
The plot doesn't work. Like the direction, there's too much going on. It just doesn't work as a movie, and it also doesn't have an ending. So because of all of those reasons, it's kind of more frustrating than it
What
is.
do you mean, Sandro? It had like 3 endings.
It's just more frustrating than it is enjoyable on a so bad it's good level. I would say it is so bad it's good, but I also probably will never watch this again. So yeah, I'm gonna give it.
Whoa. I definitely think it's a so bad it's good film, but like it's so bad but not good enough,
All right, before we jump into the plot, got some taglines over here.
Ooh,
Taglines.
like a
Gotta
good
rate those
tagline.
taglines a thumb up or a thumb down, which is something that we do sometimes.
Yep.
Here's the first tagline. Born in darkness, sworn to justice.
Whoa. Is he?
I guess.
He doesn't seem very sworn to justice. He seems like a sworn to like being kind of like pissed off with everyone. That's more his thing. Like he doesn't really help people because he wants to. He helps people because he's mad at the people being mean to him.
Right.
Pretty much.
Yeah, he's pretty obviously only on a quest for revenge.
Yeah,
And,
yeah.
I mean, we'll get into the plot in a second, but that also the way that plays out doesn't really make a lot of sense either.
No, not at all. Oh my god, yeah, this movie. Yeah. I'm gonna thumbs down because
thumbs down.
there's zero justice happening here.
All right, 2 thumbs down. From flesh to steel, from blood to blade, from man to spawn.
I kind of like that one.
That one's better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like it because it mentions Blade, which is a better movie. So
But it also mentions Steel, which
Yeah.
maybe a worse movie.
Oh, man, wait, yeah. Ugh.
oh, that's true. I don't know anymore. I'll give it a shaky thumbs up then.
There you go.
Forgot the movie Steel exists. If you don't know what Steel is, it's a Shaquille O'Neal superhero movie based off a honestly D-list DC character.
Wow.
Real bad.
Okay, all right. You know what? I'm going to give this a thumbs up now because I've never seen Steel, so until I watch Steel, it's a thumbs up.
All right, and the final tagline for Spawn is, the evil has a new enemy, the justice has a new weapon, and the world has a new hero.
I hate the justice as a sentence. Thumbs down. The justice? What do you mean, the justice?
That's what they're calling themselves. Yeah. What teams are these? It's like the evil versus the justice. It's like, and it's way too long. Too many words. Get to the point.
Yep.
Too many words. Absolutely. You want it to be short and punchy.
Evil has a new enemy would have been fine. Just cut it there. We get it.
Oh, that is a good tagline. If they just said evil has a new enemy, like that's a pretty good tagline.
Like the movie itself, the tagline tries to do too much, I think is what it is.
That's right. That's
Yeah,
right.
the taglines are all over the show.
Yeehaw! Yeehaw! Selly McSella here, back with another ad, and this is a really, really sad one, because over on Patreon, Sandro and Zach from Oldie Buddy Goodie, they've been doing the Cage-orama Season 3. 3 months of nothing but Nicolas Cage movie reviews, and they're done! They finished it! The last review is out. It's on Michael Bay's The Rock. Here's a clip. I'm really sad. I mean, first impressions, Zach, it's Patreon, so just impressions. You've seen this before.
Yeah, because it isn't first impressions, because I've seen this before. I've seen this a few times, actually.
You've got it on DVD.
I do, somewhere. I don't even know where it is anymore, but I once had a copy of this on DVD that I bought from an op shop for like $2.
Yeah.
It was a great buy for $2.
That's pretty good, but was it just on its own, or was it with another movie?
No, I think there was another movie, but I can't remember what other movie.
Okay.
Oh, no, I got Highlander as well.
Oh, that's pretty good.
Yeah,
That's a good double for by Sean Connery.
Yeah,
Right? He's in Highlander, right?
I don't think so.
Oh. I haven't seen it. I don't know.
Yeah.
Oh, that sure does sound like a great episode, though. I'm over my little cry. I heard the clip there, and then I remembered that there's a huge back catalog of episodes on Patreon that I can go listen to right now if I want to listen to more content like that. So, patreon.com/oldiebuddygoodypod. Get those bonus episodes. All 6 Cage-orama Season 3 episodes are out right now. And so are the first 2. See, so much. Also, patreon.com/oldiebuddygoodypod. You can get ad-free and early episodes too. So if you don't want to hear me crying next week, then go do that. All right, let's get into the plot of this. So if you love narration to explain what's going on, you're gonna love the first half hour of this movie.
I do. So I love this part of the movie. Honestly, the narration was my favorite part of the movie, I think.
So there's, how do you say, Malbolgia.
What?
Malbolgia? I don't know. It's the devil.
Malbolgia, that sounds about right. Yeah.
It's the devil. He's voiced by Scooby-Doo. And the devil's in hell. And the devil wants someone... Yeah. It's Frank Welko. It's very funny. The devil's in hell, and he's like, I need someone to lead my army to destroy the earth, Armageddon, all that sort of stuff. And we get a narration being like, and there's the test and the new bad guy and Spawn, and this is that story, or something. Which makes you think that the narration isn't going to come back. But it does, very quickly, after the opening sequence, which is very funny.
Sandro, speaking of that opening sequence, now, you and me, we've known ourselves as connoisseurs of font, right?
Oh, yes, we do love
them. We for a while rated movies specifically on their fonts.
That's right.
And I couldn't read a fucking thing that appeared on my screen because that was the worst font I might have ever seen in my life, which is incredible. I don't think I could say this for any other movie. This might have the worst font choice.
You know what? I agree with you. It's not just the font choice. The font is like scribbly kind of 7, like horror vibes.
Yeah.
But then every single word has like a shadow underneath it that's kind of glitching in and out.
It's like echoing and glitching around. So there's like 3 different versions of this terrible font imposed on itself.
Yeah, so you can't read what's going on. You just don't.
And add like CGI flames all in the background to make it even less legible.
Yes, exactly.
I was shocked. I was agape at how hard it was to read. I was like trying to read it to be like, oh, is this part of the movie? Is it trying to be cryptic? Like, what is this like telling me like the Pact of Spawn or something? And then I read it and I was like, oh wait, that's the credits.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. It's also just the opening credits in general are hilarious because you've also got like some drum and bass in the background, which is pretty fun. I love that stuff. That's more of an early 2000s thing. So this might have been one of the first movies, the first like dark movie to ever have like drum and bass in the background. That was kind of cool. But also we're in like a portal to hell. It's fiery, but it's also a tunnel, right? It's like a wormhole, and it looks exactly like the Doctor Who title sequence. when David Tennant was the Doctor. It's like got
Yeah.
the same color sequence.
That's so funny that you say that, because I absolutely was going to say, this is just the fucking tunnel sequence from Doctor Who painted orange.
Yeah, exactly. So anyway.
That's great.
But Robert, what happens at the start of the movie? How does the plot play out?
Let's see. If memory serves, Simmons and his team are on some sort of covert mission, and it goes awry, as they tend to do. And he's not killed right out the gate, though. We just see a failed mission first, right?
Yeah. We see some great night vision goggles.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, of course.
Honestly, I think that's the best CGI in the movie.
It's the night vision.
Yeah, it's the night vision we have at the start where he, like, scans some people and sees, like, targets and something like that. And then he murders a lot of innocent civilians for no real reason.
Well, I think that, yeah, like, that was part of why he's so pissed with Wynn early on, is that he's like, you know, you told me that place was going to be empty or whatever, and then Martin Sheen's like, you follow orders. That it's that kind of dynamic. You follow orders, you're the best soldier we got, but you need to fall in line kind of thing.
Yeah.
And then it just gets murkier from there.
It gets... I genuinely have no clue what's going on for the first 20 minutes of this movie. There's so... Like, Martin Sheen's talking to a clown, but the clown's all in, like, darkness, so is it even a clown? They're talking about Al Simmons, who is Spawn, played by Michael J. White, who hasn't done a whole lot. He was in Black Dynamite. That's what stands out the most.
He's in The Dark Knight as well. He's
Nice.
he's the guy that the Joker kills in the Why So Serious.
Oh,
right.
yeah, that's right. Oh, yeah. I remember that. That's great.
Yeah.
He's a great actor who never really got to do much.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, it's a bit of a shame.
Unfortunately, he was in this, so...
Yeah, I 100%. And he has at times in this like Wesley Snipes energy. Like he should have had that kind of a career after this. And then, yeah, I wonder how much this threw his plans off to the side.
Yeah, I think this is the sole reason
I think so.
He never got the career he deserved.
It's a bummer.
That's a shame. Oh, he was in Arrow for a bit, apparently. He showed up for a season or two. That's kind of cool.
Shout out to my boy Michael. You deserve better.
He did. He really did deserve so much better than this. Also, the fact that Martin Sheen is in this, and Martin Sheen, he's playing his character who is like the head of the CIA, Jason Wynn. And Jason's going to hell, but not like Friday the 13th. It's not a reference to that, although New Line Cinema own Jason now, so maybe it's gonna happen. Who knows? We'll do that on Patreon very soon, because we're up to that point in the series. Yeah, like he's playing the bad guy as like kind of camped it up a little bit, which is very weird and very confusing again when this movie is trying to be serious, but also he's talking to a clown and they're both trying to be scary.
This is where my inner conflict about this movie starts, right? Because like I hate a lot about this movie, but Martin Sheen though, I like him in everything. Like
Yeah.
I don't care what he's doing. I just kind of like him being there, you know? But yeah, he's a weird bad guy because he's not the bad guy. He's just like a pawn in their scheme, but also he's Martin Sheen, so they have to have him on screen a lot because he's like their best actor. Like, you know, like it's a weird dynamic he has, but also he's a complete moron. But they make him out to be cool because he does like two things in this movie. That's all he does, and for the rest of the movie, he's just kind of there. And those two things aren't even that great, like smart. He like kills a guy and then, spoiler, chucks a thing in his heart that will kill everyone. And I'm like, why did you do that? What a fucking idiot. He's just a fucking moron.
Yeah.
But he acts really cool.
Clown's like, we're gonna put this thing inside you so that if your heart stops, everything goes, you know, everything blows up. And he's like, yeah, that's a good idea. Like, yeah. And I'm like, what?
Yeah. Because he's like, oh, Spawn won't kill you if you blow everything up. And then, because you'll blow everything up and kill everyone. And Spawn has morals. But literally at the start of the film, Martin Sheen's like, you're the perfect agent because you're a psychopath and feel no emotion.
You don't have any morals.
Yeah, you don't have any morals. And it's like, wait, what? No, what? Martin? Did you hear what you said earlier?
Yeah.
It's a terrible idea.
Oh dear me.
And it's also like Clown is sort of working both sides. So his idea is to get, Martin Sheen to kill Spawn so that Spawn can come back and kill Martin Sheen.
Yeah.
I guess. And that's the plot of the movie. And I'm really fascinated with Martin Sheen's career at this point in time, because this is like pre-West Wing, like before he starts winning Emmys and awards and stuff, where he's like post-Apocalypse Now, pre-West Wing, where like around this same time, like the year before this, he was in a TV film called Project Alf, which was, I'm assuming, based on the 80s sitcom. So he was like, what is this? Okay, paycheck, cool, I'll take it. He was just showing up in all kinds of random places. So it's an interesting, weird journeyman period of Martin Sheen's career.
Yeah. And there's like a bunch of other like weird stuff at the start of the movie too. We keep seeing the actor Nicole Williamson from Return of Oz. He was the Gnome King in that, Zach. We quite liked him in that.
Oh, dude.
Wow, he was. I didn't realize that was him.
Yeah, it's him. It's him.
I love Return to Oz.
The Gnome King was awesome.
He is.
This was his last ever role. I think he died.
Oh, really?
No, he retired after this and then passed away about 10 something years ago.
Wow.
Yeah, he plays an angel.
Yeah,
he fights
yeah.
for God, I guess. I don't know what's going on.
He's great. He is great. I love his voice. He should instead of Morgan Freeman, I want him to narrate my life,
Yeah.
That's my pick for narrating my life, because he's great.
He is so... I want to watch Exorcist 3, because I think he's one of the main characters in it. I want a movie where he's a main character. I want to watch it. He's such a cool actor. But yeah, like him...
I want to rewatch Alice, the fucking movie we watch where he's the Gnome King, because the Gnome King's great.
It was good.
Yeah.
He's got like this like weird like green energy, like magic energy around him. It's very confusing. We don't know what's going on. We cut to Michael J. White. He's hanging out at home. He's got a dog called Spaz, which you can't do that.
What?
But the dog is called Spaz because one of the visual effects artists on the movie, that's his nickname.
Whoa.
So the dog's named after him?
Wait, so is this not a comic book thing? I thought in the comic books he just had a dog, so they had to put it in? Or is this something they just made up for this film?
I feel like they made it up. I don't know.
Ah, that would suck, because it was there was no point to this dog.
There was a dog running around and it's barking. And
I was hoping
stuff.
the dog would also go full Spawn, because that would be sick as hell.
That would be cool.
Spawn could ride him into battle. Like, hell yeah, let's do that.
Yeah.
Like the horse in Venom 3 from the trailer.
There you
That'd be
go.
so cool.
There you go.
Or the dog from The Mask.
Yes.
Get some CGI dog,
Oh,
boy.
dude. How does The Mask have better special effects than this movie?
Whoa. Woof. Low blow.
He's got his CEI best friend, Terry Fitzgerald.
And you know what best friends gotta do to you? They gotta fuck your wife when you die.
To be fair, he was dead for 5 years.
But they have like a 5-year-old daughter though, so like 4 or 5. So it did not take a lot.
That's true. That's a good point.
I'm gonna do the math here. It's like, oh, he's dead. 5 minutes later, he's knocking on the door with flowers and chocolates. I'm just saying,
Yeah.
Yeah. My problem with that storyline isn't the fact that she and his best friend get married. My problem with that storyline is that she then, like, her CEI agent husband dies in active duty, and then she's like, you know what, I'm gonna marry another CEI agent. That's my problem with that storyline.
That's true. Yeah.
Yeah.
So Al Simmons and Fitzgerald go to talk to Martin Sheen, and Martin Sheen has Jessica Priest, Agent Priest. She's a sexy agent, and she wears a bedazzled body armor suit with jewels on it.
Yep. She is there for 2 scenes in this film.
Yeah.
Oh, 3 scenes. 3 scenes, sorry.
3 scenes? Apparently she becomes She-Spawn in the comics. The character becomes She-Spawn.
That makes sense. I actually thought of that during the film because of when she dies. I was like, it'd be cool if she came back as like an actual evil Spawn or something, you know?
I was hoping for that as well, yeah.
Yeah.
But also, she has zero redeeming qualities in this movie.
I don't know, the camera certainly tried to make you think she had some redeeming qualities.
Fucking hell. But I guess that's the MO of Spawn, because also our main character doesn't really have much redeeming qualities. So
true.
I guess, I guess that's just Spawn, you know?
It's Todd McFarlane. He's all like, oh, my characters suck and you hate them all. Yeah.
But that's not a good thing.
But look at all the chains and the spikes.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, that's his whole vibe.
I do like the chains and the spikes. Honestly, I was going to say the chains and the spikes, my favorite CGI in the film.
That's fair. That's fair.
I think Spawn's suit actually looks okay.
It's just Venom, but it is cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The cape makes it awesome, though. I love the cape, yeah. But as Robert said, it just needed to be rendered properly.
Well, they'll figure that out in the next, 10 years or so, you know.
That's true.
15, 20.
20. Yeah, the trailer for Captain America 4 doesn't look like it's been rendered either, so I don't know.
They're still working it out. Yeah, they're still working it out. They'll figure it out eventually.
They send Al Simmons to North Korea, and he gets to North Korea, and Martin Sheen's there as well, and I'm like, what's going on? What is happening? Martin Sheen's like, I'm stealing the mega virus that North Korea has made, and I'm killing you, and then he kills Al Simmons and lights him on fire and sends him to hell.
Do you think, now hear me out, that we're in the bad Spawn timeline where coronavirus was released?
It's released from Michael Sheen. Well,
Yeah.
I like how he's like, this is 10 times worse than Ebola.
Yeah. I'm like, that could age poorly, sort of, you know?
Yeah, I was like, but like the massive Ebola stuff in America happened after this movie came out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's funny that. So it's like any movie that has like a worldwide disease as its like plot point. They were all imagining it back nowadays, but we've had that now. So it's like, did they age poorly or well? I'm not sure. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So he's in hell, but then he's not in hell. And I'm very confused. And I'm like, wait, is he in hell? He's like walking around the streets and there's that kid.
Oh, right. Yeah. He gets murdered. He gets light on fire. I liked the look of the him on fire. I thought that was a good effect. Mm-hmm. That was a man on fire on my screen, and then he died.
That's because you wanted Ghost Rider. That's because you were like, is it going to be?
I was constantly thinking about it during this film. I'm like, this is just Ghost Rider, but
This is also like Darkman in a lot of ways. Left for Dead, set on fire, comes back on a quest for revenge. Only Darkman is awesome.
Yeah, only Darkman is a lot better.
Yeah.
My partner was kind of half watching this with me and was like, this should have been directed by Sam Raimi. And I was like, yeah, it should have been directed by Sam Raimi.
that would have been great.
That would have made it so much better. So, like, Robert, what happens here? Because, like, he's sent to hell, but then we don't actually see what happens in hell for about 10 minutes.
Ironically, they basically put him on ice in hell. Like he's just like chilling for 5 years, and he thinks it's just just happened. But meanwhile, he's dropped back on Earth 5 years later. You make a good point, Sandro. Like the amount of time that they devote to the world building and the voiceover, and this is what Malbolge's plan is, and this is how the rules are between heaven and hell, and there's a whole like subplot with the necro flesh that's kind of that he has that's sort of developing, and so he can have all these abilities, and he has to learn to control them in about 10 minutes. Apparently, and like for all of that, the legwork that they try and do, it really doesn't make any sense at all. It's just you imagine the amount of time and energy they could have spent on other things instead of trying to be like, well, we got to explain how Spawn functions and how his necro flesh has to develop, and it's very strange.
Yeah,
I did like the idea that he has to sort of develop. I've talked about this before, I think, with Sandro. We talked about how rules are important for your fantasy world, right? You gotta have
Yeah.
you gotta have rules, and you gotta follow them when you have those rules. If you break those rules, then the audience is gonna be like, well, if this rule doesn't matter, then none of the rules matter, right? Whatever, I don't care about this anymore, right?
Right.
Yeah.
And they have to be clear, though. That's the thing.
Wow, that's a good point. It has to be clear. So I guess this movie was a confusing mess. So, whoops. But there was something there. I feel like you can make something there, right?
Maybe.
Yeah.
I like the idea that they were trying to corrupt Spawn to make him the leader of the Hell's armies, and it's like, but like, they repeatedly try and make him the leader of Hell, but he's clearly not interested, so I don't know why they didn't just be like, alright, kill this guy and move on, right? Like, get someone else to lead them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say it. I think there's a few plot holes in this movie.
Shocking.
I'm just gonna throw it out there. It might be a bold claim.
Yeah. Yeah, like, it's interesting because, like, I feel like for Spawn's powers, they get them all right because Todd McFarlane is involved. Again, it's not like a Ghost Rider where they don't get it right at all.
Yeah.
And they change everything because the guy who created the character was directly involved in this, but also, like, it still doesn't work as a movie, even though they technically got it all right, which is very interesting. Zack Schneider would be another good pick, and by good I mean it won't be good, but it'd be funny.
Yeah.
To see him make a Spawn movie, that could be good.
He loves a dark superhero film.
He sure
So,
does.
Oh boy, I think the Rebel Moon director's cut is out by the time this episode's out. Can't wait to watch that. And I think I'm going to review it with Reese over on Aussie Nerds Talk Stuff, Zach. So,
Whoa.
Yep, that'll be fun. Anyway, he's been on Earth for 5 years. He goes to see his wife, and the dog remembers him and runs up to say hi or something, and then the daughter is there.
Because he'd probably smell the same, right? And dogs go with more smell, That's like the one thing the dog does, is that it just goes up to him, and then it doesn't do anything for the rest of the film except nearly die, I think,
Yeah.
at some point. Like, what is the point of the stupid fucking dog? God damn it.
You just pinpointed it. That's the point of the dog. To be like, oh, he's over here. You don't recognize him?
Yeah, that's literally it.
Well, yeah, because Wanda never acknowledges that that's him.
Yeah, no, not at...
So having the dog would be a good explanation for her to recognize him, but they
Yeah.
never do that in the movie.
That's what I thought was going to happen, was at the end she's like, oh my god, it's actually you, but they do this whole thing of like, I'm dead and she's got someone else now, I'm gonna move on. I'm like, what? But for the entire film, your like sole purpose for doing anything was this woman, right? Like, and then
yeah.
he's just like, actually, I'm gonna move on, I don't care about her anymore. I'm like, whoa, what?
A fun Spawn drinking game would be every time he says Wanda's name and has those weird flashbacks to a shot.
Wanda!
Oh my goodness. We haven't even talked about that the editing of this movie, not the editing, the transition effects.
Yes. Oh,
are
yeah.
probably the worst. The worst I've ever seen. It just randomly cuts to like hell for a second and we see the big CGI demon and then we just cut back to a completely separate scene. It's just like they use that as a transition. It's consistently terrible and it's very funny.
No, but we're seeing the devil like laughing or crying or whatever the fuck he's doing to be like, his plan's coming to fruition. I don't know. I got nothing.
So anyway, the clown's like, the clown's at the birthday party, and then the clown's like, it was me, Luigi, the whole time. And then he's like, I'm gonna fart, and it's green. And it's like, okay, what do you, stop farting.
God, this character.
And then the clown gives Simmons a flashback. And Robert, what happens in this flashback? What key exposition do we finally get to understand what's going on?
Does he find out that Wynn had him killed? Like, he remembers who he is, right?
Yeah. You see him fall to hell.
Yes.
This is the scene where he like falls to hell and he makes the deal.
Right. He made the deal with Malbolgia, and which, by the way, you mentioned Frank Welker. This is basically just him doing his Cave of Wonders voice from Aladdin.
Yeah.
That's true.
Nobody else clock that?
I thought it sounded like that, and I might be accused of being a nerd. It sounded like Warwick from League of Legends, but like the old one. It's just doing like a gravelly voice, It's very unintimidating because it sounds like a guy doing a gravelly voice.
Yeah.
And no, disrespect on Scooby-Doo's name, But like,
No, of course not.
I was not intimidated by Scooby-Doo over here. All I'm saying.
Yeah. He was phoning it in the 90s. He stopped caring at this point.
That's it. Oh dear.
We get so many good quotes as well, like, if you fail me, you will die, says the demon. And I'm like, but he's literally in hell right now. He's dead.
Too late.
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
Oh yeah. No, he's and his whole thing is like, you will lead my armies to conquer Earth, but you'll get Wanda though. And he's like, yeah, I'll do that. That's the whole reason he becomes Spawn is because of Wanda.
Well, that's why it's Punisher.
Yeah.
That's why this is also just Punisher, because it's...
Yeah, I don't know. It's weird. His whole motivation is Wanda, but then Wanda's with another guy, so he kind of, like, gives up? I don't know.
But he also doesn't?
But he doesn't, but then at the end, he's like, if you love someone, you should let them go, sort of thing.
Yeah.
I don't know. His motivation is all over the show.
It's the Punisher meets Darkman meets The Crow meets like all of these better movies.
Yeah. It's trying to do them all at once.
Yeah.
Even the like, where his destiny is to lead Hell's Army, like that's Hellboy. Like
Yeah.
Hellboy did that storyline better.
That's true, yeah. What? Todd McFarlane is an original? What?
That's the thing, right? Because, like, Hell's been, like, grooming him into being the leader of the armies, and so they just never establish anything. And it's just, like, they need him to start the war, right? To kill the guy, to send the virus everywhere, and then they're going to invade or some shit. I don't know. But, like, he's clearly not interested in doing that. So just, like, they waited 5 years. They could wait another 5 to get some other desperate idiot that, can fuck shit up. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's so many holes in their plan.
Well, they could wait for maybe, like an eviler version of Spawn.
Yeah.
Let's say he's Ginger. He's played by Woody Harrelson, and he's called Carnage Spawn. I don't know. And then we can get Spawn versus Carnage Spawn.
Yeah, Spawn versus Carnage Spawn. Hell yeah, now we're talking.
Here's a fun fact for you. So Terry Fitzgerald, who is his best friend, currently married to his wife, in the comics, he is black as well as Spawn, but they changed him to white because the producers were like, people might think that this movie is only for African Americans, so we're gonna whitewash one character.
Yikes.
Just a fun reminder that we're still in the 90s.
Yep. Woof.
I got some quotes here from John Leguizamo. Hello, my mutant. Hello, my carcass. Hello, my bug-infested corpse. We get that. We get a line here where not only are they constantly saying the word spaz during this movie, but John Leguizamo also says, how come God gets all the good ones and we get all the arslers? I was like, okay. That's enough of that. They never say the F slur, so that's good.
Yes.
But they say pretty much everything else.
I did like when he ate a rotten pizza.
Oh, that was rank.
Yeah, which apparently Leguizamo did that in real life with the worms on it.
Oh, really?
Yes.
That's what made me think of, like, trauma films, right? Because that's very, like, trauma-y
Yeah.
sort of effect. Like, maybe if this film was more trauma, like, Spawn, like, slices a dude and you see his gut spilling out. I don't know. Like, just, like, make it even more hardcore. Like, lean it one way. I think that's the problem, is it tries to do both and obviously fails.
Yeah, it's trying to be an actual superhero movie.
Yeah, it was trying to be a superhero movie and something else. I don't know what the other else is, because it's all terrible. But, like, if they just committed to something, I don't know.
Yeah. Martin Sheen's like, I got the virus, I'm gonna kill everyone, and I've got the only vaccine, and I've got all this information on a CD. And then Fitzgerald's like, I'm gonna steal that CD and leak it to the press, which is very funny.
Hey, CDs are pretty advanced.
That's true.
That's true, yeah.
It's like that would have been a USB stick 10 years after this. If this came out 10 years after, it would have been a USB stick. Now it's on the cloud. So yeah,
Absolutely.
We've come a long way from a CD of data
Yeah.
being a plot point. or something.
But still, I was expecting a floppy disk, so I think they did pretty well.
That's true, yeah. Oh, yeah, and Jurassic Park has floppy disks that came out a couple years before this. Yeah, pretty good. That's true.
I'm just saying, pretty advanced technology we get here.
Yeah. But then we get the first action sequence of the movie where he goes to attack Martin Sheen. Robert, do you like the action in this?
I mean,
This one's mainly just Spawn with some guns shooting people.
yeah, I mean, this is probably the best action sequence in the movie, whatever that means. I like the confrontation of it. I like that he spends all this time moping around with about Wanda and meeting the boy and all this other stuff. And so we finally get him go face to face. This is where Terry finds out that he's alive. And he's like, listen, man, we thought you were dead.
Sorry for banging your wife. Whoopsie.
Yeah, exactly. So you get some of that kind of classic superhero villain confrontation stuff. So, I mean, in the grading on the scale of this movie, it's a standout sequence, I guess. Let's put it that way.
I would agree that, like, he kills Priest.
Yeah.
Just straight up kills her, which was pretty funny. I laughed at that.
She was in this film. Because he gets revenge on her, because she's the one that, like, covered him in gasoline or whatever it was, so they could light him on fire. So it's appropriate. Yeah. Again, she tries to kick him in the crotch, but his, like, belt, like, catches it with teeth or something, which was very stupid and very silly. I laughed a lot at that. That was. I was not expecting that, and I've seen the film before.
I was laughing the most at him trying to leave the building, because that goes on for about 5 minutes. It's like it feels like a parody. He's like walking around the building, being like, "Oh, go this way. Oh no, I'm gonna go this way." It's awkward. It goes on forever.
Yeah. It's weird because he's a weird superhero because he uses guns, right?
Yeah.
In this part, yeah.
Yeah, no, but like the whole thing is like he learns to use the suit instead of guns. But like, isn't the whole point that he uses guns because he's cool and edgy? I don't know.
But this is a PG-13 movie, and guns are bad. We're trying to sell this movie to kids. I think this is what the studio was thinking. And that's like his evolution from an anti-hero to a hero. He chucks the guns and he's like, nope, I'm going all in on the chains and spikes, baby.
Yes. Which we know for a fact are good weapons for good people.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I like how they're pulling Priest's body out of the building, and the paramedics are like, it looks like a gunshot wound to the head, Doc, and the doc's like, oh yeah, no, she's dead, and then just walks off.
Yeah. I mean, that's an appropriate reaction.
That's very funny.
Like, I mean, what are you gonna do at that stage? Like,
yeah,
she's dead, Chief.
He goes up to his daughter after this. Not his daughter, you know what I mean. The daughter in the movie, and he tells her that his name is Spawn. When did he get named Spawn? When did that happen? Because he was kind of already calling himself Spawn before this, but we never see a scene.
He gets dubbed by the clown, right?
He does, yeah. He's like,
oh, right, okay.
Yeah, they have that whole scene where he's like, because for the start of the film, he's like stumbling around, he's struggling, he's going, ugh! And like you see some weird like CGI bulging underneath his skin or whatever, and the shut up, and then the clown is like, oh yeah, you're going through your like metamorphosis phase or whatever, and he's making fun of him, and so they go to like a graveyard and they dig up his body.
Yes.
To get a pendant with Wanda and him on it, which has some importance, I think. Yeah, I don't think... Does that ever come back? It's just like...
Sentimental value.
But then he metamorphoses and gets his, like, suit, and so then the clown dubs him the King of Farts or something, but also calls him Spawn.
He said, I have the quote. He says,
oh, here we go.
In the name of the people and things of hell, I dub thee Spawn, General of Hell's armies, arise your crispness. Arise, Duke of Deep Fried, Sultan of Sizzling, Emir of Ooey Gooey. So he's got a multitude of titles.
He's got a lot of titles, but he decides to pass those over and just call himself Spawn. A real humble guy, I think. You know?
Exactly.
Oh dear. I wonder how much improv Leguizamo did on this movie, because His humor in this is so close to his humor in Ice Age that I'm like, he has to be the one coming up with this, surely.
I did like the whole, like, he looks like fried jokes that the clown made.
Yeah.
I thought that was way better than the fart jokes. It's like mocking. I like how he constantly mocks and tries to provoke Spawn. Because he clearly doesn't like Spawn, right? But he has to try and convince Spawn to go and kill Martin Sheen for that whole, like, Hell Army invasion, right? So it's all part of their plan. But you can clearly tell that, like, the clown doesn't like him and doesn't want to hang out with him. So I did like that part. That's the thing. I did like moments in this film, you know?
Some good stuff. I love the moment where the clown is dressed up as a cheerleader and does a song. That was a great moment. I love that moment.
Yep.
That was very funny.
What about when the clown does his Jimmy Stewart impression? And he's like, oh, well, every time someone farts, a demon gets his wings. Oops, twins.
Oh, twins. Fucking hell.
Pretty good.
Fucking hell.
How about the point where the clown just talks about assaulting Wanda for 5 minutes? That was a great scene. I liked that one. I wasn't uncomfortable at all.
Which one? I feel like that happens a few times.
Yeah, he does that a lot near the end of the film.
Oh.
At the start, he's like not interested in Wanda, but as he realizes that he can really rile up Spawn by saying it, he does it a lot.
Yes.
He just starts like talking about banging Wanda. He even gives her a good lick.
So then we get a fight scene with the clown, actually. They reach a peak with Clown, and Clown's like, I'm turning into my final form.
Yeah.
And then he turns into a Resident Evil villain or something.
Yeah, he goes full Shere Khan on him, you know? Full, Mortal Kombat.
Yes.
And he turns into his, like, spirit dragon form.
And it looked fine. It looks bad, but it also
Yeah.
I was going to say, I don't know if it looked fine.
It looks better than hell, I guess.
That's true. That one, almost, they're close. But he does look better than the devil or whatever that demon guy is supposed to be, right?
Well, I think part of it is practical. Like, the mouth at least was practical, because we get some close-ups on it, like, biting down on Spawn, and it looks pretty wet. Like, it looked real.
Yeah, like, when they're doing practical, it looks great. When they're not, it looks terrible.
Yeah.
It reminded me of the bug from Men in Black. The bad guy from that one.
Same year, too, yeah.
Yeah, but that one looked better in Men in Black. I can tell you because I've seen Men in Black recently. It did look better, but only because it was, like, more intricately detailed. Whereas this like demon is just a lot of like default flesh color, rather than like specific details. Look, they still both look bad, but I think the Men in Black one looked better.
Yeah.
There was just a lot of CGI in this film. There was just a lot.
There was a lot.
They really went ham on it.
They did, and it doesn't really pay off. But I think, like, out of all of the CGI fight sequences, this one's fine. It's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I liked the idea of this one, because they're just having a bit of a bout, you know? Like,
yeah.
And Spawn gets his ass kicked, which is pretty great, because then the clown mocks him a bit.
Yeah, and then he's got to go off and train with the angel or whatever, and then he comes back and he's got his Spawn car.
Yeah.
They have a little race.
I did like when, I'm not sure if that's this moment, I think this is later on in the film, but when Spawn's riding the motorbike, his, like, cape enshrouds them, and he makes, like, a shell.
Yeah.
I thought that actually looked really cool.
It was a cool idea, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, but it looked better than most of the CGI in the film, I thought. So I was like, I'm down with it.
I've got a note and a quote here where I think the clown says, when I'm done with you, they're going to change your name to Stain. And I wrote down to remember that I said out loud at the TV, that isn't funny.
Oh,
dear.
Should have made a gamer joke, be like, I'm going to despawn you, you know? Bring the gamers in.
But Robert, after this, Fitzgerald, he leaks the files to the press, and what happens after that?
Let's see. That's when it takes the whole family hostage. Wanda, Terry, their daughter. So everything's kind of building up to that confrontation where, like you guys were saying, Clown riles up Spawn and he's like, "See it, Wanda's for the finale, basically."
Yeah.
And
he looks to the camera like, the end of the film is coming up.
don't worry, we're almost done. Stay in your seats, folks.
Don't go to the toilet now. Imagine if he broke the fourth wall. Oh my
That would
god.
have been very funny.
Oh, I wish you would. That would be cool. That would have been awesome. Doesn't Spawn just like take that device right out of Wynn's body like real fast?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We didn't talk about it, but Martin Sheen's character is really dumb because he gets convinced by the Clown to put not a pacemaker, but like a detector thing that says when his heart stops, it releases the virus. But why does Martin Sheen just go along with it? It's just like, we know for a fact that Spawn will not give a shit. He only cares about Wanda, and then, like, Martin Sheen goes along with the plan where the Clown pretends to be Wanda, and Sheen, like, kills Wanda. In that scene, Martin Sheen kills Wanda and is like,
Yep.
"Oh wait, now I've killed my only bargaining chip." Like, what a fucking idiot! He does nothing smart.
It's so dumb. And also, like, I feel like they cut heaps out of this sequence too, because Spawn just kind of shows up, and then
Yeah.
Wanda's dead, and then we're in hell, and then this happens, and then this happens. It's like, it's so fast-paced and just weird.
Also, like, I love the scene when Martin Sheen gets it, like, surgically implanted because the doctor's there, and the doctor gives exposition, because he's like, "There we go, Jason Wynn," or whatever the fuck his character is. We've put the device in that's connected you to the deadly virus that will release it. If your heart ever stops beating, it will release this deadly virus to the world. And, like, I wonder if the doctor was, like, in a thinking like, "Oh shit, I need to call my family, be like, we need to get a bunker down," right?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, because this doctor clearly knows the plan that if this guy dies, it's going to release this deadly virus. So does he go home and, like, come home to his wife and she's like, "Oh, how was work, honey?" He's like, "Oh man, we're going to need to build a bunker." Like, oh my god. Like,
Pack your things. We're heading to your sister's.
yeah, exactly.
like-
Exactly. Oh my god.
So Wanda's dead, but Wanda's not dead because it's the Clown, and then...
I like Theresa Randall having to act like the Clown.
Yes,
That was pretty funny, actually, yeah.
that was cool.
Oh yeah, she was in Beverly Hills Cop 3, which we reviewed on your podcast, Robert. Yeah, there we go.
That's right.
Have you seen the fourth one yet?
I did. I thought it was pretty good.
Okay, all right.
There we
It's
go.
it's pretty fun. Yeah, definitely better than 3. 3's a mess.
Yeah.
three sucked.
Three was a mess.
I think it's funny if you go on Netflix, they have like the Beverly Hills Cop collection, Beverly Hills Cop, Beverly Hills Cop 2, Beverly Hills Cop Axel F. That is all the Beverly Hills Cop
Yep.
movies there are.
Don't have 3.
Classic, like, Shrek moment, you know?
Yeah,
We're just going to ignore that third one, yeah.
Yeah.
exactly.
The demonic plan of, like, killing Martin Sheen to release the virus is so dumb for several reasons here, because we see Spawn's about to kill him, and then he, like, uses his Spawn vision to extract the device and instantly delete it.
Yes.
And that's it for the demonic plan. That's done.
Pretty much,
They fucked
yep.
up. I was like, he could have done that the whole fucking time?
Yeah.
Why
He
was
just
he-
had to know that it was there, and then he could have done it.
Yeah, but, like, he didn't care before, but now he does. Like, why didn't he just start off the fight by doing that? It's so bad. It's so bad. So, anyway, continuing on with one of the, like, 3 endings that this film has.
Yeah. The Clown takes, him and Angel Boy to hell. Robert, what did you think of this action sequence? Could you tell what was going on? Because it's all CGI, Spy Kids 3D.
Not really. Not really. No, I think that's the thing. Like the budget for this movie ballooned as production went on from 20 to like 45 million.
Yeah.
And I think that was all because of the visual effects. Just imagine how much better this movie would be if we didn't even see how, like, let it be something that's talked about. Let the people show up on Earth. Like, so much of the bad of this movie is centered in the visuals and the whole thing with Malbolgia and like all of that just like really brings the film down. I feel like excise all of that and expand the rest of it, and you're like, all right, you have something to work with.
Yeah.
But the fact that it spends the whole finale, or at least this version of the finale, in hell with the worst CG that 1987 could buy, yeah, it's really rough.
Yeah. And also, like, they don't know how to shoot it either. Like, I don't think the cinematographer at this point honestly knew how to do green screen or blue screen or whatever that they were using. Like, it's...
Yeah.
The angles are terrible. You can't follow the action sequence at all. Like, you don't know who's fighting who at any point. At one random point, Spawn's, like, flying through hell, and I'm like, but who punched him so that he's flying that far? What's happening here?
Well, he uses his Spawn powers to literally, like, Superman his way, like, Iron Man, escaping New York to blow up the aliens, like, flying up through the portal to pop back out of the fireplace. I was like, when did he learn? What is going on in this film? Nothing is established. Like, I have no idea what the fuck's happening at this stage.
Yeah, I forgot that he does that. Yeah, like, he flies up out of hell.
I hate to say it. I really hate to say it. But he farts up because he leaves, like, a green trail. I hate it. I hate it so much that I have to say it. But I have to say it. He farts all the way up. Maybe he learnt it from the clown.
Maybe, yeah, probably. And then he heals, and then he goes back into hell to talk to Malboja.
Oh my god, they have this whole thing where he gets, like, cut in the throat, and then the fucking angel guy's like, heal, goddammit, heal! I'm like, why is this in the fucking film? What is going on?
And then he goes back down to hell, and then he talks to Malboja, and Malboja's like, you're not gonna work for me, are you? And we're like, we've known this the whole movie. How have you only
That's what I've been saying.
This is what happens when you micromanage, you know?
Yeah.
When you get someone, when you delegate managing the situation to some stupid clown guy demon instead of dealing with Spawn yourself. You don't learn about the details. You don't get to meet your employee. Once you meet them, it's like, oh crap, you're not gonna work for me. Oh, we could have redone this plan like ages ago.
Yeah.
Like, damn. Whoopsie daisy.
And then, like, all the other demons in hell are also spawns.
Yeah.
Because they all have spawn suits, and then he kills them all.
I think it kind of makes sense that they all look similar, right? Because they're all from hell, right? It's probably just like the default hell suit.
Necroflesh.
Yeah, Necroflesh. It's given to everyone, right? I'm gonna presume Spawn's the best at using it. He gets the general Necro suit, right? The good one, the one that they worked on the most. The one with the cool crotch teeth, right? You know? Like, he gets the best one. But, like, yeah. No, there's a lot of Spawns down there. Also, that saves a lot of money on CGI, right? If they just copy Spawn's suit.
That's true.
And then he's out of hell, and we're like, yay, the movie's done. But then the clown's back, and he's got to cut off the clown's head.
The movie's not done.
It keeps going. It just
Why is
keeps
this movie
going.
I genuinely forgot that this movie kept going. I thought, finally, the movie's fucking done. We're over with. And no, we have even more CGI for the animators who are already overworked to have to deal with.
And he cuts off the clown's head, but even then he's not dead. He goes back to hell. He's like, I'll get you next time. And I'm like, okay.
In the sequel,
it's gonna happen.
And then, Robert, I'm not sure if you know this, but then Martin Sheen is arrested. And do you know who he's arrested by?
I did not see that.
It's meant to be a cameo to another Todd McFarlane property called Sam and Twitch, which are two, like, supernatural police officers or something.
Oh, okay.
Whoa.
And they arrest Martin Sheen, and that was meant to be some sort of, like, all my comics are coming and they're going to be a big universe or something.
Oh, man, it was ahead of its time. It was so close, you know? All they needed was a very popular actor to come in with an eye patch and be like, I'm building a team, you know?
Who would that have been in 1997? Who should have been the Nick Fury?
David Hasselhoff was
There you
meant to be.
David Hasselhoff, oh my god.
The other Nick Fury.
Can you imagine?
Well, Nick Fury was white until the early 2000s.
That's
so
true.
I think he looks like Hasselhoff.
No, Hasselhoff played him in 1998 in a TV movie called Nick Fury, Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Whoa!
Yeah.
That's wild. We could have had Hasselhoff.
So good pull.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That's so funny. I'm never watching that. Have you watched it, Robert?
No, not at all. I have no interest in one. I just happen to know that it existed.
Yeah, no, that's awesome.
The angel's like, I'm retiring and you're gonna take up the sword. And I'm like, okay, Spawn works for God now? I don't know what's going on. Are they actually angels? Are they just fighting the demons? I don't know what's going on. And then we get like an ending narration where he's like, the choice has been made for now. And I'm like, no, I'm pretty sure Spawn's not gonna go back to fighting for the devil. I don't think
At 0 point did he find any interest in working for the devil.
Yeah.
He just wanted to hang out with Wanda, and now he doesn't even want to do that. So what's his motivation? Who cares?
I don't
know. Like, it doesn't matter. Like,
also, why does he have the dog? Why doesn't Wanda have the dog? That's Wanda's dog.
yeah, man just steals a dog.
He just
Honestly,
steals
based. He just look. That's a classic man who divorces and like comes back, and it's like he just came back for the dog. Really,
that's where the justice comes into play. That's where the justice.
Exactly.
Justice for Spaz.
Yeah. The film shows him saying Wanda, but the whole time he was thinking, man, I need to get Spaz the dog back. that was his one goal. Also, that dog ain't living for long. That dog's already been there for 5 more years, right? And we see him at the start. He looks like a fully grown dog. That dog's like 10 years old. He's got like 2 or 3 more years at him top.
Then he'll die and come back from hell, and then we get there you go.
Yeah! Then we'll finally get Spawn Dog.
Spawn Dog.
Yes!
Spawn Dog.
Yes!
Hell yeah.
That's what I want in the sequel. That's my only thing in the sequel is I want Spawn Dog. And the dog uses guns.
Yeah!
I want it explicitly, the dog uses guns.
The dog has gun ears or something. The ears turn into guns and he shoots everything.
Nah, that's so
Hell yeah.
dumb. Nah, he has a gun tail. He wags his tail and it shoots bullets everywhere.
There you go.
Have you ever taken a great high school history class? If you have, then you'd probably agree that the one thing that made it so enjoyable was your teacher. And understandably so. At their best, history teachers are vibrant storytellers, leading you on a gripping, fun, fantastic learning journey. But sadly, we know it can be pretty difficult to continue that journey after graduation, with no one there to be your entertaining tour guide through the world of dense, obscure historical research. Fortunately, 20-Minute History is here to help with that. It's the new podcast that aims to be your very own high school history teacher for everything you didn't learn in high school. Come join us as we explore commonly unknown histories in our informative, engaging, and amusing 20-minute episodes. It's 20-Minute History, out now on all your podcasting platforms.
Anyway, that's it. Is there anything else from the movie that you wanted to mention, Robert?
I think we covered it pretty much. One thing I did want to mention, the actor who plays Zach's abusive dad in this is also the guy that shot Uncle Ben in the Spider-Man Sam Raimi movie. I thought that was interesting.
Oh my god! Zach's dad shot Uncle Ben. You see, it was all connected.
Exactly.
The universes are all connected. We could have had Spider-Man v Spawn v Venom.
That's so funny because then Martin Sheen is Uncle Ben in the Andrew Garfield ones.
Oh my god! Martin Sheen was Uncle Ben the whole time. Uncle Ben was evil. Oh my god!
The actor's name is Michael Papa John. What a great last name, Papa John.
Papa John, yeah.
Sure is.
Woo.
Yeah, I've never had Papa John's pizza because we don't have that here in Australia. But Robin, have you ever had Papa
I've
John's
had it.
pizza?
I don't care for it that much, but I've had it before. Yeah.
I feel like it's very much just a Domino's, you know?
Yeah. Exactly.
Very greasy.
Todd McFarlane was also in it apparently as a homeless man. I don't know when.
Whoa!
He was in
Oh
it.
my god, it's all connected! I cannot wait for the new Spawn movie to tie into the Marvel Cinematic Universe the same way Madam Web and Morbius do, by like mentioning things but not actually having them in it because you can't have the rights to things.
Exactly.
That will be great.
Well, let's, before we do a remake, there is, of course, King Spawn, which was apparently just announced. It's happening. It's written by 3 guys. I don't know what they've done. Michael J. Fox might be playing Spawn. He was signed on to play Spawn like fucking 10 years ago.
Jamie Foxx. You said Michael J. Fox, which I would watch, but
Oh, Jamie Foxx.
Jamie Foxx, very very different movie.
J. Fox. I mean, great actor.
Yeah.
But yeah. I feel like it would be in poor taste. I'm just saying, like, you know.
He'd be Marty McFly. It'll be like, we'll keep the connections rolling with the Spawn franchise.
Oh my god, yeah. Then we get the Back to the Future universe in here. We get all the IP.
yeah.
Spawn to the future.
You know what? Let's get Doctor Who in here as well.
Nice.
He can fight some of the CGI monsters. That checks out.
That'd be cool.
Yeah. Just rope everything in.
Yeah, so it's a Blumhouse movie too, which is
Sure
weird.
is, yeah.
It's co-written by the guy who's writing the Joker movies with whatever his name is, Todd Phillips. It's like his co-writer on Joker and Joker 2 is involved with writing this sport. It could be good. I don't think it will be, but it could be. I don't believe that it's going to happen until we get a trailer. It's one of those movies where I don't believe that this is going to happen.
I said the same thing about the Crow remake for the longest time, and as we know, that's happening. That's a thing. So
Yeah.
we'll see.
So what we've got to do is we've got to come up with our own remake of Spawn, though, which means a whole new director, a whole new cast, kind of put it together ourselves.
Sorry, Jamie Foxx, you're not getting this role.
Jamie Foxx is not going to be in it.
Fuck.
So, Robert, if you were to remake Spawn, first of all, in terms of audience, in terms of plot, are we going for a hard R rating on this one?
Yeah, I think so. I think you're going to go hard R. You're going to lean into the horror. You're going to tone down all the effects, make it more grounded, and, and at least try to make something good out of it. Like we were saying earlier, I think this could have either been a lot better or a lot worse, and it's hard to try and make a bad movie.
Yeah.
So you're gonna make the best of what you can with this material and try and be as true to the spirit, at least, of the comics as possible.
All right, well then, who's a Spawn? And I'm thinking like Jamie Foxx. He's in his 50s now.
Yeah,
right. He's a little bit older. He can't play the role for 100 years. So when casting Spawn, I'm thinking of someone a little bit younger.
Yeah.
Oh, that
Definitely.
rules out my suggestion.
Well, then, what was your suggestion?
Denzel Washington.
Oh.
You do like a Logan-style version of Old Man Spawn.
Oh,
Old Man Spawn.
That could be pretty badass. Yeah.
Yeah. All right, so we're bringing in Denzel Washington for Old Man Spawn later on.
Spawn, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, he was in
because-
like the Equalizer 3 came out last year, and apparently it was pretty good. So
Yeah. No, it was. So that's what made me think of him was the Equalizer, actually, because he's good in that one.
Yeah.
All right. Who's some other names that you think could work in the role of Spawn, Robert?
I like Yahya Abdul-Mateen II. He played Black Manta in the Aquaman movies. He was Morpheus in the Matrix Resurrections. He was in the Candyman movie. He was in the Watchmen show. I think he's got the physicality. He's like late 30s, so he's young enough to keep the franchise alive for a while.
Yeah.
That was better than my second pick.
Oh boy, what was your second pick?
My second pick was currently Captain America.
Anthony Mackie.
Anthony Mackie.
Yeah, he's good.
He'd be good too.
But no. This is a way better pick though.
You also have to also remember, like, once he's burned up, he's gonna have that makeup on the whole time. So you really need an actor with like a powerful voice, and I think Yahya has that.
Yeah.
For sure.
I agree.
Absolutely. Yeah.
All right, so we have Denzel Washington at the start of the movie retelling
There you go. I love it.
his transformation to Spawn.
Oh yeah, he can narrate it and be like, that's like a flashback. Oh, that's brilliant. That's great. I love it.
All right, so we'll have Yahya Abdul-Mateen II as our Spawn. I like that idea.
He's great. That's an inspired pick.
Now, Zach, we got to do it. Who's playing clown?
Oh,
Who's a clown?
shit,
Is it
mate.
Bill Skarsgård? Do we just get Pennywise in here?
Oh God, Danny DeVito. No.
I was thinking during this movie, I was like, Danny DeVito would be pretty funny.
That would be very funny.
He would, yeah, he would kill it.
I'm not sure about a clown, but I'm thinking Donald Glover could probably play Fitzgerald. We give him a bigger role.
That's who I had, actually. I had Donald Glover.
Oh, really?
Yeah, 100%. And I had forgotten that in the comics that character was black as well. I was just like, it just felt right. Yeah, I think Donald Glover would be perfect for that.
Yeah. He could even direct this, honestly.
So true. Direct and play a role in it. Boom.
Yeah.
Do it.
Because he's got his new movie coming out, which is the movie for his last Childish Gambino album or whatever. And the visual effects in that, from that trailer, looked pretty good. So
Yeah.
maybe we could get him in to direct a movie. Oh, well, he was going to do a Deadpool TV show, like,
Yeah, he was.
10 years ago or something. But for clown, who is a clown? Do you have any ideas?
That's what I was trying to think of.
I had, you mentioned about Donald Glover playing Terry Fitzgerald and possibly directing it. I actually had Jordan Peele as clown and directing it.
Oh.
One, he obviously has, a following in the horror space, but he also has experience with comedy, and I feel like he could toe that line with the tone of the movie, but also play clown. But in my version, clown would have less screen time. He'd be less obnoxious, obviously. He'd be more like more akin to Beetlejuice, where he kind of pops in and out rather than he's kind of all over the place.
Yeah. Beetlejuice is a great way of describing like what kind of character you want.
Exactly. Yeah.
He's silly, he's goofy, but he's quite obviously evil. And he doesn't make fart jokes as often, that's for sure.
He's gross, but like not in an off-putting way where you're like, oh, get this guy out of here. Yeah.
All right, Jordan Peele or Donald Glover is the director. Then Zach, you have to decide.
I say they co-direct.
There you go.
I know that's the middle ground, but imagine a movie where John Peele and Donald Glover make a movie together. That sounds amazing.
Definitely. Cool. All right. Well, then, we still got a couple characters left to cast. For the character of Priest, I was thinking Samara Weaving, because she looks exactly like the actor who played Priest.
That'd be good. She'd be good. I love her.
And I also think she would be funny in the role. Because Samara Weaving is an underrated comedic actor.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Let's go for Martin Sheen's character, for Jason Wynn.
I had Jeffrey Rush because I'm thinking somebody who's older, who even with an underwritten role can really like ham it up and make it fun. Thinking like what he did with Barbossa in the Pirates movies.
True.
Or like if you've seen Mystery Men, what he did with that character. I think he could really nail that.
The problem with Jeffrey Rush, though, is he is big time not working right now because of the law case that he went through in Australia.
Oh, really? I don't even think I knew about that.
Yeah, he assaulted one of the cast members of Orange is the New Black, so that's...
Oh, that's not good. Well, someone in that vein. I also thought someone like Gary Oldman, but that feels like too easy because he's done a lot of this kind of thing. He'd be almost kind of playing a version of his character from The Professional a little bit.
George Clooney.
He's too famous, though.
I know. Yeah.
I like Gary Oldman. That's good.
Kind of like you want to go for like Alec Baldwin and Mission Impossible kind of
exactly.
vibes.
Yeah.
Or you can why not just gender swap it and throw Angela Bassett or someone like that in there?
Oh, that'd be good. That'd be really good, actually.
I think that's a good idea. I think we should gender swap this. I think this is the line. This is where you go with this, you know?
Yeah.
You do like an Amanda Waller sort of situation, you know?
There you go.
And then I guess the final character would be Wanda, which obviously has to be Elizabeth Olsen, because it's Wanda.
I thought of that too. Yeah. She's got Wanda, the Wanda market unlocked.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
But it's also like, I kept coming up with people that are too famous, that are in the similar age range to Yahya Abdul-Mateen II, but they're like Emily Blunt, like all these other people, they're like not going to do this character, at least in this version of the movie, doesn't have a whole lot to do except stand around and looking forlorn. So it's like you need someone that's not an established movie star yet.
Oh, okay. Well, that's going to be great for us picking from
well, you know what
famous
I mean?
movie stars.
Established, but not like, not like a bankable, like super bankable star, like someone kind of in that mid-range.
I'd say someone maybe like Zazie Beetz could do it because she's in Atlanta.
Yeah.
Donald Glover's show, Atlanta. So I think
She's
could
great.
probably do it. It's very funny.
I was thinking Zoe Kravitz.
Zoe Kravitz, always good.
I know we've used her a lot, but like she kind of works for the role.
She's
done
pretty good in the role.
X-Men stuff. I'm just saying.
All right, we'll put in
Just
Zoe
saying.
Kravitz then.
Just saying.
And that's our remake of Spawn.
Yeah.
Make this one, please, not the other one.
yeah. That other one, garbage.
And that is the entire episode. Robert, thanks so much for joining us on this episode today.
Absolutely, guys.
And for actually watching Spawn again. I'm very surprised that you agreed to do this one. Yeah, you've got your shows, franchise detours. You teased what your next series is on Twitter, I believe. Maybe that's
Yes.
already been again, this episode's coming out in like a month, so...
Yeah, so by the time this episode is up, we'll be in Rocky. We'll be in the middle of the Rocky franchise. So from 1976 to 2023.
Yeah.
So 9 movies, lots of boxing to get through.
It ain't about how good the movie is. It's about keep moving forward.
Yeah, exactly.
If you love franchises, it's great because I love, like you get different guests on each episode and they usually have a connection with the particular franchise entry. So it's like a great way to be like, you know, franchises usually have something for everyone.
Yeah.
That's what I love about that show is that everyone can find something in any entry in a franchise aside from maybe Final Nightmare. No, what is it called? Freddy's Dead.
Freddy's Dead, The Final Nightmare, yeah. I did a poll, what's the best and what's the worst nightmare, and it was pretty definitively Freddy's Dead, which, you know, I'm not inclined to disagree with.
Yes, Zach and I have been on that show. We did Beverly Hills Cop 3. Have we been on since then?
I don't think you guys have. We got to get you on another one of these days here.
Yeah, that'd be good.
We'll talk about that after the episode then. But yeah, check that out. All the links are in the episode description. Zach, we are on stuff. We're on at OldieBuddyGoddyPod on Instagram and Facebook and stuff like that. Thanks to everyone who drops us a review on Apple Podcasts, on Spotify. Drops a comment on YouTube. It's weirdly close to being monetized. It's very strange. I don't know how that happened. But people are dropping comments. Thank you so much for that. If you also want to help support the show, patreon.com/OldieBuddyGoddyPod. You can get ad-free episodes. And, Zach, out right now, the entire season 3 of the Cage-a-Rama is done.
Whoa, the Cage-a-Rama?
That's right. We did 3 months of Nicolas Cage. We reviewed 7 movies, and the latest episode on The Rock is out. We finally reviewed The Rock after 3 years.
It's one of my favorites. Spoiler alert. So go watch that episode.
Yeah, so check that out on Patreon, and yeah, the entire K-drama's up there now with the bonus battle and Sorcerer's Apprentice, and
That's so much content for such a low price. Wow.
so there's links in the episode description. Zach, you got to pick next week's movie.
Oh my goodness.
Now we're going to 1998. Robert, are there any movies from 1998 that you fondly remember?
I really like the Prince of Egypt, the DreamWorks film.
Oh, yes.
It's so good. I really like Enemy of the State from that year with Will Smith. You've Got Mail. Let's see. We have a lot of... I was just recently on the podcast Screen Run to talk about The Faculty, which that's a fun movie.
Hey, there you go. Yeah.
So there's some good stuff.
You got The Truman Show?
Yeah?
Exactly, The Truman Show.
The Big Lebowski? That's fun. I want to know if that holds up, actually, because I feel like it might not.
Star Trek Insurrection.
I don't remember if that one's good or not. I think that one's bad.
What about Snake Eyes? Another Nicolas Cage movie.
That's definitely a Cage-a-rama next year one, I think. Snake Eyes, yeah.
Yeah, we gotta save that one for the Cage-a-rama.
You also have Saving Private Ryan. There's something about Mary.
Classics.
Small Soldiers.
Oh my god.
Dude, Small Soldiers is a banger.
Oh, I've always wanted to watch Dark City.
Yeah, that's good.
Oh, yep. I see that one. There's a lot of good sci-fi ones.
There are a lot of good sci-fi ones.
We mentioned Blade this episode. Blade is in 1998 as well.
Yeah, Blade would be good.
Christopher Nolan's first movie, Halloween, which is a black and white film about a guy who stalks people, and I've watched it. I don't remember it.
Oh,
I've watched
no.
it.
Oh, there's Deep Impact.
Oh, yeah.
Actually. Yeah, it's got a little Morgan Freeman.
Deep Impact.
You know, he's a pretty unknown actor.
I think Deep Impact was a movie that was rushed out because Michael Bay was making Armageddon, and then they're the same movie.
Oh, Armageddon. Hey, same movie. Bonus battle, maybe.
Oh, we could do a bonus battle. Have you seen either of those, Robert?
I've seen both of those. Yeah, I saw them both that year, actually, that summer.
But what about Ants?
Well,
Ants. Speaking of movie that was rushed out to stop another movie from being popular.
Yeah, well, Ants was rushed out to stop Pixar's Bug's Life, because they both...
Which would also be a good bonus battle.
That would be a good bonus battle. Wait, that's that's 4 movies that all came out in the same year trying to rip each other off. That's very funny.
Oh, Sandro, I have a terrible idea.
Oh no, what is it?
A really, really bad idea.
What is your really bad idea?
What if we had a bonus battle?
What?
Where we bonus battle 2 movies together, and then, I don't know, compare the bonus battles to each other to see which is the better bonus battle?
I don't... if you want to come up with the format for this episode, I'm down. Does that mean we have to watch 4 movies?
It does mean we would have to watch 4 fucking movies, though.
Alright, so Ants versus A Bug's Life,
yes,
and Armageddon versus Deep Impact.
Yes. For best movies that tried to rip off each other, we do the bonus battle. Maybe we tally them both up and then verse the tally versus them.
Oh,
or
that's
then
fun.
We compare the, rip off ability of each one against each other, which was the best copying.
Well, I mean, Armageddon has 43% on Rotten Tomatoes and Deep Impact has 45%. So
whoa, they're close.
It's going to be a close call.
Yeah.
All right. Robert, then, I'll get you to do some predictions. Which one of each do you think is going to be better?
So I'm going to go Armageddon and Bug's Life.
Yeah.
Ooh, Armageddon and Bug's Life.
Yeah.
What do you think, Zach?
Well, I have a confession. I've never seen Ants or A Bug Life.
You haven't seen Bug's Life?
I have not seen either of those films.
What?
Never before in my life. I still think Bug's Life is going to be better from what I've seen.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, yeah, it's Pixar, and Woody Allen's the main character in Ants, so that's going to age poorly no matter what.
Yeah, that is going to age poorly. And I have no idea between Armageddon and Deep Impact because I've seen neither of those films. So my answer to your question is I don't know.
Well, because Ants he's an ant and he's rebellious. In Bug's Life, he's an ant and he's rebellious, but he joins a circus.
Oh, wow.
And then,
okay.
And is there any difference between Armageddon and Deep Impact, Robert, or is that spoilers?
Armageddon is an asteroid. Deep Impact is comets, I believe.
Oh, right.
Okay. Very different. Very different.
Yeah, that's your main thing.
Wow.
This is going to be a terrible episode. All right, we'll do that next week. And yeah, that's the episode. Now, Robert, at the end of every episode, because we are time traveling, we are in hell at the moment, but we are technically time traveling.
We're not. We're in a coma. Actually, neither of you exist because I'm in a coma right now, imagining.
Comas don't exist, but
that is your stance. Yes,
they aren't real. They were made up by Joe Biden.
That's awfully relevant for me to think of in a coma. It must be on the news in my coma ward, you know?
Yeah.
That's why he had to resign, because everyone found out that he came up with the idea of coma. Anyway, at the end of every episode, I do give our guest the opportunity to decide whether or not I give Zach a rest, because we have been jumping from year to year. Do you think that Zach should have a rest, or do you think that we should get right into watching these 4 movies, Robert?
I feel like you guys have work to do. You better get to it.
Oh, god damn it.
Sorry, Zach.
One of these days. No, that's fair. I feel like there's a lot of movies I gotta watch.
Yeah, exactly.
Of all the times I could take a rest, this isn't one of them.
Well, Zach, we are in hell, so I'm going to teleport us to the opposite of hell. Which is Canberra. Well, let's go to Canberra.
Ah, Canberra, of course. But that's exactly what I was thinking of. Yeah.
I'm opening a portal. Get through there.
Oh my god, somehow it's hotter on the other side. I'm getting pulled through. Ah!
Oh, stop farting, Zach. What are you doing?